Get 'em Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting nifty up the crack and we stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated public sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Oh, geez, sorry. Looking at the wrong thing. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. We do this every Tuesday. We got a big NHL card today that we're going to cover with Mr. Gokster. Interesting time of the year in the NHL. Seems like things are maybe chilling out a little bit offensively, right? Some of these big scoring teams, big scoring stars, maybe a little bit lethargic. Not seeing the explosion of overs that we often see in the NHL. Maybe time to change course and look at some unders maybe a little bit. We got 5 games in the NBA. No guest, but we're going to need your help to break down the 5 cards. And, of course, we'll discuss it with Jose Bouquett. And I think I do have a few plays I'm liking in the NBA. We'll see what everyone has to say about it. You know, I'm not the greatest NBA handicapper in the world, but I spotted Detroit last Tuesday, knew that was a good bet. So, you know, I can. I'm not your go-to guy for NBA, but I can pick. I can make a good NBA call here and there. Pick a nice NBA positive EV bet out of my ass once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So I think I can do it again this week. A few things I think I'm liking. We'll see what you all have to say. And, yeah, wonderful time of the year. Of course, a bunch of legends passing. You always got to remember every day is a gift and a blessing. Now, that is almost impossible to internalize fully. So don't get mad at yourself if you know intellectually that every day that you're alive is a blessing, but you don't necessarily feel it emotionally 100%. That's fine. Just keep it in mind and do your best. Shout out to Mike Leach. And others. I just found out that Paul Silas passed last week, which is very, very sad. I actually in 5th grade for a couple of weeks. He was the coach of the youth basketball league that I played in. I played with this kid for 5 weeks or something like that when I was in 5th grade or something like that. So it was I didn't even know who the hell he was. My dad was like, "Do you know who that is?" I was like, "Yeah, that's our coach. He's huge." He's like, "No, that's Paul Silas, famous NBA player." I was like, "Really?" So, yeah, once again, every day is to be alive is a blessing. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, but just to be here doing a show with Jose Bouquett is a blessing. It doesn't feel like a blessing, but intellectually, I know it is. Jose, this is I'm sitting here looking at you on the video screen, and I'm like, this right here is a blessing. But emotionally, I'm like, no way. Just talking with that dude. But it is a blessing.
Shocking to say. And yeah, shout out to Mike Leach. Mike Leach, the architect of I think my first college football moment that I remember, and I think got me into college football, the Michael Crabtree catch on the sidelines. I don't even know who the quarterback was. I still don't know who the quarterback was. I just remember the Crabtree catch. So shout out to him beating Texas. I remember Colt McCoy's dumb face after too. And maybe you had some money on it, Pete. So shout out to Mike Leach. Great man and a great coach.
I remember when the air raid came around, I was like, air raid? What the fuck is that? And then I looked into it, found out what it was, and made some money betting into it. You know what I mean? It's when it started out, the market could not make the totals high enough. You know what I mean? Maybe even still,
Yeah. And I was going to say, shout out to him because he won his last game too, won the Egg Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unbelievable. What a wonderful life it can be. So sad. Yeah. And Paul Silas passed away. God, jeez. I just wish why does life have to be that short? Couldn't we just live to be like 500 instead of 80? You know what I mean? Would that have killed the universe to give us a few hundred more years instead of being like, bam, 80 are gone, done? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to be like the old lady in the Titanic, Pete. I just want to be like that old raggedy ass woman just living around.
life is a blessing, Jose Bouquett. For you, it's more because you get to do videos with me. So that you can understand, I'm sure feels like a blessing to you. You also have a girlfriend. Don't you have a woman, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, shout out to Helga. Yeah, shout out to Helga.
So that's a blessing for you. I'm assuming that she feels like it's a blessing as well. Hopefully,
depends on the day.
It's possible. No, I'm sure she feels like it's a blessing. So shout out to Helga.
What are you talking about? You got your MILFs.
Oh, yeah, it's a blessing. The MILFs is a blessing for me. It definitely is a blessing for them. I've asked them, I'm like, do you feel like it's a blessing to be alive, spending time with me? They're like, yeah. I'm like, really? Yeah. They're like, yeah. So, yeah, shout out to everyone. Shout out to Not Applicable, Bo Jackson. We're going to need your help figuring out, just making sense of all this stuff. Of course, Serious Business, Bo Jackson, Rocco Rogers, Nasty Nate, hell yeah, Spencer Ben EJ. All right. Jimmy Gomez. All right, so we got some Jimmy Gomez once again. Life is a blessing and birthday picks should be a blessing. But once again, Jimmy Gomez, I would just like to apologize once again for giving you a losing birthday pick all those months ago. I don't remember where it was, but it touched me. I tilted a little bit when that one lost. Another happy birthday to you, Jimmy Gomez. And once again, I apologize for giving you a loser on your birthday for a birthday pick.
For Mr. Vape as well, who jumped in the chat early and dropped some EuroLeague plays. Maccabi Tel Aviv plus 3.5. Says wrong team favored there, and he likes the over 163 in the Olympiacos game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Vape. Some Euro basket if you want it.
All right. Yeah. Gosh, I gotta write this all down. All right. Okay.
I'll continue it, Pete, because I'm currently going through some old videos and making the year-end review. You've been on fire this year, Pete, and I'm expecting more of the same.
Fire in what way? With my picks? I wouldn't quite say fire.
No, your picks, they've been as average as always. Pete. I'm talking about your comedic chops, Pete.
Oh yeah,
comedic chops.
I would like one day to make I should go back and just like get a great assist. Just for you got to promote yourself a little bit in life. That is one thing. You got to be thankful, and you got to get out there. You got to put yourself out. You got to show up. I know Woody Allen is maligned right now, but he has a great quote. He said, I forgot what it was. He said like 95% of success is just showing up, and that is so true. That is so friggin' true. And you got to just put yourself out there. Let's see. All right. I guess. Oh, there you go, Jimmy Gomez. That meant that money was covered for. Thanks. I fuck up sometimes. I had the 4-0 in the NFL contest, and then Arizona. That was a terrible. That wasn't because of Kyler Murray. It was obvious before the game started that the Pats were the right side. In fact, I don't know. When Murray got hurt, I thought maybe because the Pats planned for him, and then maybe a curveball was thrown in. I was like, maybe I'll steal a win with Murray going down. But you can't. When Belichick has extra time to prep, you don't bet against that, even without Brady, right, Jose? You know football, right?
Yeah, I fucking hate that senile old man, but yeah, it seems like that's the case. But it definitely helped. Definitely helped that he didn't have the running quarterback he was going against. Well, we both went 4-1 this week, Pete.
So that means we both lost a point on the leader.
Yep.
I mean that guy. I'm looking.
RX.
So I'm 2 behind him. You're 3 behind. We're talking about the contest, by the way. I'm 2 behind him. Jose is 3 behind him, right? Is he going to lose 2 more the rest of the way? I don't think so.
I'm hoping so. That's the thing. There's some big swing games. Like I had the Browns and he had the Bengals, and then that obviously went his way. So I'm hoping that he does run away with this championship. I'm not going to lie. All right. I would just like to stay in the top 3 for money purposes. Pete, I've never had more than $3,000 in my life. I was like, am I going to win this contest? What am I going to do with $3,000? Should I just go buy the world with $3,000?
But it pays. I mean, you're going to get 3rd place money, so that's also probably more than you've ever had in your life, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like $1,000. What am I going to do with $1,000? I might buy a new car with that.
All right, Jose Bouquett. Well, it was a blessing talking to you, but it's also going to be a blessing to cover the NHL card with Mr. Gokster. Well, let's get into it right now. Mr. Gokster. Oh, sight for sore eyes. Mr. Gokster, interesting time. Let's just quickly give a 15-second thought segment on the NHL. Am I imagining things, or are unders coming in more and teams in general playing a little bit more lethargically and less potent offensively right now?
No, yeah, you're on to something there, Pete. What's going on in the chat? Good to see you guys as always. Yeah, you're on to something there. A little more unders the start of this month. Just could be a little bit of fatigue. You're 2 months in. You got Christmas break coming up. But I think there's some games here where we could see some overs and we could see some unders. So we're still getting some sixes. The card's juicy, guys. We got 12 games. I got about 10 picks as always. So let's get after it.
All right, let's get into it. Let me just give a few shout outs. Shout out to Die Hard MMA Podcast in the comment section. Shout out to you. Shout out to Danny Lopez and Rocco Rogers, UF Capri. Yeah, help us with all these lines, because we need help. I need help. All right, let's get into it. Mr. Goatster, let's start with Anaheim, Toronto. Now, this is an interesting one. I don't know what this friggin' line is right now. On the overnight, it was like minus 405. I'm scared to even see what it is right now. Maybe it should be minus 600, because Anaheim, I'll tell you what, I was all over Ottawa last night. You really got to be careful with these big favorites in the NHL. But this is Anaheim on the road is just they just can't buy a win. Now they're on a back-to-back. They're just awful. Are they going to rally for this one? I don't know. And Toronto, of course, is playing great. They've won 8 of their last 9, and weirdly, I'm sure you know about this, Gogi, but maybe not everyone does. Weirdly, despite the fact that Toronto is playing one of the worst teams in the NHL, there's actually a revenge factor here. Yeah. The Leafs lost outright. Yeah, the Leafs lost outright to Anaheim in October, and that smacked them in the face and said, and it made them, look at themselves and say, "Are you really this bad of a hockey team?" They said no, and then they went on a winning run, and they're aware of it. Now they're back home playing Anaheim. So there's even they're not going to overlook Anaheim, because they know that they lost to them last time. So, I wasn't afraid to take a huge favorite against Anaheim last night. And even now, you really got to be careful. One of my notes to myself this year in the NHL was really just don't take any of these minus 400, 450 favorites. But in this spot, I might do it Toronto -1. Is that a good play?
Oh God, this line. To be honest, Pete, I didn't even look at a lot of these lines before the show, and this game I didn't have anything on the money line. So this line's stupid. You can't put Toronto minus 475. The Ducks, they've proven they've been able. This is a team Toronto struggled a little bit against. Anaheim's got offense too. Like I got the hands going like I'm, like an Italian here, like I am. You got Troy Terry, you got Zegras, Henrique, Comtois, Strome. You got everyone still on their lineup. McTavish on the third line, and this team, Pete, they're coming off being shut out last night against Ottawa, which was Wade Redden Hall of Fame, or his induction night there. Shout out to Wade Redden. I shouldn't have traded him. I should have kept Chara, Pete. They actually had Chara way back in the day. Ottawa got rid of him, kept Wade Redden. Whoops. But looking at Anaheim here, Gibson, Stolars, they went with their backup, their Dostal, AHL goalie. So there's a question mark here. If anyone in the chat has confirmations on who's going to be in net, Stolars or Gibson. It's more so the fact that Anaheim's just been looking real bad the last few games there, Pete. They lost 6-1-2 to San Jose, then 3-0 against Ottawa. This is just too good of a hockey team, in my opinion. They're not maybe. Wait.
What you said? Anaheim's just been looking bad their past few games. Yeah. Oh, they've been looking bad their past 25 games or whatever it is. They're just bad.
Yeah, I like going kind of 3. I like going like in chops of 5 there, Pete. I don't like the whole season. Yeah, I get it. I just like seeing what they've done in the last few games. If you actually look at what Anaheim did against Carolina, it was at home. They beat Carolina 4-3. What, Carolina's a bad hockey team? They're a great hockey team. Then they lost 6-1, lost 3-0. They can show up for this kind of hockey game. Half this team's more like, let's see, Comtois from Quebec, McTavish from Ontario. You're going to have, I think Henrique is too. They're going to have some guys from Ontario. This line is way too high, Pete. I would not be on Toronto here. If any, give me, you know what, at this line, give me Anaheim. Do you got +2.5 there, Pistol? I'd take +2.5 on Anaheim. I really would.
Okay, let's see what we can give you. +2.5 -120 at Pinnacle.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I and also you're looking at the defense for Toronto, guys. How long is this going to hold up? It's like we're walking on thin ice with this back line too, Pistol. Where am I here with Toronto? Robertson and Yarncrook are out too, so you just lost Robertson to injury for a long term as well. So there goes you're gonna have to shake up. You're calling in Dennis Mulligan, who's okay, he's all right, but you're changing up your line right there. Pontus Holmberg is on with Joey Anderson. This line's way too high. This is a dangerous spot for Toronto. I do not agree with this line. Sandin, Giordano, Hall, Lindgren, TJ Brody. I don't know if he's back or not. I don't believe he is back. They keep having him in there. This line is too high. I want plus 2.5 on Anaheim. And I also want both teams to score here, guys. This is a juicy number. Plus 165 first period. Both teams to score. Plus 165.
Both teams to score. That's not bad. So you're going to make Anaheim plus 2.5 an official play?
Yeah, minus 120. I'll take that. I'm coming off that 5-1 loss, 3-0 loss against Ottawa. It is, and it's not a back-to-back, it is a back-to-back. Sorry, they did play last night.
I just go ahead.
Despite that, though, Pete, like this team proved they gave him fits. It's a young hot. I don't think they're gonna just lay down here. I really don't. I know I'm not backing too many points here, guys, but my confidence level is pretty high that it could be a higher, like 5-3 Toronto at the most, maybe a 4-3 overtime. I think Anaheim's gonna put up a fight. Even an Anaheim team total over 2.5, I wouldn't mind too here. I know Murray's looked good, Pete, but I can't trust their backline. You've also lost Yarncrook's been out for the last couple of games, as you guys know, but you lost Robertson too. Line's way too high. Toronto blew this game beginning of the month too against Arizona. They lost as a minus 400. So
I just think that's just so stupid. That's
Brody,
really fucking stupid to take Anaheim here.
I love it. That Brody is in. Okay, so that does help. That helps the backline a bit for Toronto here. But the team coming off a shutout, there he is. There's the guy. But
I'm taking Anaheim too, Peter. What the hell, Pete?
That's
seriously, it's just conversations about you and the juice.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
I'm just thinking out loud here. Motivation is so important. And yeah, when you have these, the big favorites, part of the reason they are such a bad bet when they're huge favorites is because they're playing a team that they're so much better than that they overlook them. But when the team is in their heads, when they have an awareness of the team, like this is a team that beat us to start our hot run, they're not going to overlook Anaheim, right?
I'm taking a small piece of the money line.
Let's see here. Let's see here. So Toronto they were just in shambles there. Yeah, Pete. They lost 3-1 against Vegas, lost 4-3 to the Sharks, lost 4-2 to Toronto, lost 4-3 to the Ducks. So they were just on a downward. They were just not playing good hockey at the time.
All right. Well,
yeah, but you know what? We're going on a lot about this game. Everyone in the chat, let's go Ducks. Rock.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Dabby Cab. I see him in the comments section. Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's look at the money right now. If that can shed light on anything, let me just find this game. Wow, it's like a college basketball card. It takes me a little bit of time. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like actually. Wow, so this game has there's two sides on this card as what I'm looking at right now with some line value. There's line value on one side here that is not half line value, but I would say about a quarter line value. Anaheim or Toronto, which do you think it is? I know you like Anaheim. Which do you think it is?
I'm awful at this game. Shout out to you, Jimmy's telling me to fade the Ducks. That's never good. You know what? I'll go with the opposite of what I'm thinking, so I'll say Toronto.
You're right. Surprisingly, the small line value on Toronto. Now, I don't know when that action came in. I don't know what action they're looking at that says that. But despite the massive line, small line value on Toronto, according to this site that we look at.
No, I disagree.
All right, no, I don't want to spend too much time on this game, but yeah. So let's see. Let's look at the comments section. Jimmy Gomez says, I wouldn't touch any Ducks play unless we're fading him, like a team total under again. Kadesh Dean likes the Ducks, I guess. Let me see. Chris Comatini says, if not for Dussel, they would have lost 6-zip. Yeah, when I saw that goalie was in, that made me a little bit nervous about my play because sometimes and he wasn't that bad in some of his appearances, but they lost anyway. Rocco Rogers says, Ducks. Wow. Jeez. All right. Let me see. Rocco Rogers.
This game now, Pete. You got me fired up for this game. I'm fired up as can be now. Let's go. I'm going to be rooting for the Ducks here. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm not the back-to-back has nothing to do with that. It's just that like you have the Ducks who are a legitimately awful team, and the spot is not one where Toronto's going to be like overlooking them or being like, we'll win no matter what, or you know what I mean? It's not your typical minus 400. Like usually you just have one, Stanley Cup contending team versus one team that's just playing out the string and they're minus 500 or whatever. There's no reason to like either side. And then the game happens. It's like, wow, they overlooked them and Arizona won 4-3. How did that happen? But this is not that kind of a spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For a big reason why I guess I'm on the Ducks here is just a team that's I don't see like, okay, their power play 13%, 65% penalty kill. I don't. They're sure they could lose this game, guys. I'm getting 2 goals. First period, both teams to score. You got a team that hasn't scored 1 goal in the last 2 games, and they're not missing much of their offense. Looking here, they're missing Grant. Okay, that's like a third liner, and Lundstrom defense. So I'm going to trust the fact here, guys. They're just coming off such a bad performance. The Ducks, hockey teams, they first period, Pete. That's when they'll fire. In 60 minutes, it'll be tough for Anaheim to win this hockey game. That's for sure. But I think they're going to keep it close at least. I feel strong that plus 165 guys on the first period, both teams to score. That's juicy. But based on this line, I had to take the 2.5 plus 2.5.
We are going to keep it brisk paces. This is such an interesting game. What would you think about the Anaheim team total under 2.5 minus 170? You think there's going to be goals here?
2.5 under minus 170?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I think that's way too heavy juice for that. I know they haven't been scoring a lot lately, but I could see them. I don't want minus 170 at all on a team total under.
Rocco Rogers says, do you remember last year every time the Avs were minus 500, they lost every time? Yeah. But they weren't in spots where they had like revenge on their minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, revenge. Toronto's been playing such good hockey. Like it is a revenge. They're going to say, yeah, guys, we lost to this team. Remember, 4-3, we blew that last 10 minutes. But
it started their turnaround.
They had lost, Pete, 4 or 5 games before that here. I just was going off there.
Right. And it started their turnaround.
Well, and how they lost that game, I was on Toronto, I believe. They were up 3-2. With 10 minutes left, and then I think it was even 4-2 or 3-1, and then they tied it up. Anaheim won in overtime. So Anaheim's they're just their type of offense. I think they can go. They've proven it once before, Pete. They're not missing many guys on offense. They're a young hockey team. Let's move on. I've had enough of this.
Okay. All right. Let's have a little fun. I'll make Toronto -1, minus 356 an official play. I just don't think there's any way they lose.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Jose knew it was coming. He had his finger on the friggin' button. He was like, I can't push it until Loshak officially says he's on it, but he was ready. There was like a less than half second delay between when I announced the pick and when the freaking graphic came up. All right, I'm on it. Me and Gogi, if they win by 2, we both cash, right, Gogi?
That's the perfect recipe right there.
That's the dream right there. All right, let's move on. Columbus and Florida. I love it. Another huge favorite line here, right? Columbus has won 2 in a row now after a long losing run. And Florida, though, off of 2 straight losses, in general, maybe just not that good. Very average right now. Bobrovsky, just not that good in goal. Columbus gives up goals, too. On the overnight, I did take a shot with the over. I took a little buying down to 6, and I took a little more at 6.5. Neither of these teams very good defensively. Both of them, much better offensively. And at the current line, it would definitely have to be Columbus or nothing. What's your take on this one, Gogi?
Yeah, I'm in more agreement with you here, Pete. Both of these offenses, since they got Laine back, they've been scoring a lot more. They lost 9-4 against Buffalo, still scored 4 goals, 3-1 against Calgary, beat a good Calgary team, and then actually beat the Kings there in a nice battle fest there, 6-5 overtime. So both these teams have offense right away. It makes me lean to the first period, both teams to score. But there's no Lindell, Pete. This guy, I think it's Essie Lindell. I could be butchering his first name, but Lindell, he's a key part to this offense. You'll see everyone on Twitter. He's probably not going to be in the lineup. So that's a key piece, in my opinion, that's just still not there for Florida. They did get Barkov back. Listerainen, Bennett, Kachuk. They got two really good lines, Florida. Two really good lines. Third line, they finally dropped Cousins. Remember when I was talking to you guys, he was on the first line. He's finally back down to the third line with Stahl and White. That's a great line right there. And then Lombergs with Turney and Dalpe. So I would lean towards Knight's in net too, which is the goal you want. Spencer Knight should be going. .919 save percentage, 2.64 goals against. And you're looking at the goals saved above expected, Pete, which is, I think, a key stat in hockey. You got minus 15.71 for Merzlikins, and he's 0-4 on the road. There's nothing good going for Merzlikins here. That the line, actually, I guess because Columbus is getting better. The line's about right. But I'd have to look at maybe a Florida and a money line parlay here, guys. 5 of the last 5, though, have gone over the total too, Pete. So maybe a first period, both teams to score. I have nothing on this game as of now. Gudas is out there. Thank you, Sammy. Gudas is out. I thought I saw maybe he was skating, but update from Sammy there. He's out. So that's more of a, it's your stay-at-home defenseman. They got Forsling, Ekblad, Stahl, Montour, and then their bottom 3 are not as...
Flatsy says Bobrovsky confirmed.
Really? Bobrovsky?
Yes, and I'm seeing that as well. Shout out Slatsy. Yes, I'm seeing that as well. Yes.
I was just reading a thing that they had Spencer Knight was just out on the ice. So, okay, that's interesting. So, first period, both teams to score feels like could be the play here. Bobrovsky's just been real bad this year. Knight's the guy you want to be betting on. But I read off the Merzlikins stats, guys. He's bottom of the barrel right now, especially on the road. So, power plays, penalty kills are about the same, 20%, 80% penalty kill. I lean towards Florida on the money line too, and first period both teams to score, but it's not going to make my card.
Okay, and I will, just sort of a no-brainer-ish play. I'll also be a little bit safe and buy down to 6. Columbus, Florida, over 6, minus 155 is the current line at Pinnacle. 6.5 is minus 118. I bet both of those, but for my official play, I'll just take the over 6. And but you have no interest in Columbus as a big dog here.
Not with the Merzlikins. I really can't. And they're coming off that 4-1 loss against Tampa Bay, 5-2 against Seattle. I don't see them losing against Columbus at home here. Their coach, though, we've been talking about Maurice. I don't know what you guys think in the chat, but not a fan of this guy. He's this team should be better than what they are, and they had, slipped my mind, George Burnett there. And look how well they did with him. Got rid of him because they didn't make past the first round. I think it's been a couple years, but Maurice is not a guy I want. Gave up on the Jets.
All right. Well, the majority of the tickets coming in on the over as expected, and a teeny, almost I shouldn't even mention a teeny thumbnail fingernail sliver of line value on Columbus according to the site we look at. And let me find it. There's another site I look at. Let me just pull that one up to see if they might have anything different on any of these numbers. But all right, so I'm going to take the over. Not going to overthink it. And you wouldn't. I also bet a little bit the Columbus team total over 2.5. What do you think about that? No.
What was the number on that, Pete?
2.5, like minus 113 or something like that.
With Bobrovsky in it now, that would be probably the strongest lean I have. That's probably my favorite pick on the card right there.
Yeah. All right. I will. I'll throw. Oh wow, it's just minus 102 at Pinnacle now. Has it gone down? Is Bobrovsky still thought of as like a decent goalie?
Well, it all starts post to post. I know a lot of people in the chat probably agree. It's your quickness in net, and Bobrovsky's definitely lost a step. Spencer Knight's their guy for 100%. So, and also Gudas is out for Florida too. There's another defenseman that I think Sammy said or Billy. So you got to think Columbus are going to, with Laine back, they got 2 lines for sure now, even 3 lines. They got Kirill Marchenko, who's been a stud in the AHL for Cleveland Monsters. So, I do like that play. I do. All
right. I won't take the money line, but I'll add on Columbus team total over 2.5 minus 102 current line at Pinnacle. Quickly glance at the comment section, and then we'll move on. All right, let's move on. Dallas and New Jersey, another one. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I have a bet here. I'm kind of liking New Jersey, right? Dallas, obviously a quality team. They have some quality players, but still, in general, their results are just 50-50. They've lost 3 of 4 now. They're on a back-to-back. Goalie won't be Ottinger because he played last night. New Jersey also on a back-to-back. They lost in OT, 4-3 at the Rangers. I'm sorry?
Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers. And, their last game. So now they've lost 2 in a row. And the big question here is, Is New Jersey an elite team that's just lost a couple in a row and now they're just going to bounce back even harder than they were playing before? Or were they on an extended awesome run and now they're coming crashing back down to earth and now they're overvalued? My sense is probably the Devils are a good play, at least in this game. What do you think?
I think I almost want to the latter to the second part you said there, because this is a real young hockey team. They're not. It's not like they're used to being in their spot down the stretch. So, yeah, if anything, I lean to the latter there, Pete. The second half of that. So, and with their goaltending, Vanacek, he's not a household name. They didn't want him in Washington. He's been okay. The defense in front of them has been real good, but. I keep an eye on the Devils. That's an interesting point, Pete, actually, because Akira Schmid, I've actually watched this guy in the AHL. He's good. Between him and Nico Dawes, I thought Dawes would be the guy. We saw him last year a couple times. Akira Schmid's been real good, though. He's got a .940 save percentage, Pete, with a 1.70 goals against, plus .477 goals saved above expected, 2-1 at home. This is a goalie who's just very smooth in net. He kind of reminds me of Viel Huso. Really smooth in net, doesn't get himself in bad positions. Or Wedgwood's a guy who's a little bit older, kind of a little more floppy in net. So both teams on a back-to-back too, Pete. 2 of the last 3 Dallas have won, but this is a different Devils hockey team. I lean to no goal maybe in the first 9 minutes here, but both these offenses are crazy. So this is a game I have nothing to do with. The power plays are 17 and 23%. Penalty kills, though, guys, in the last 10 games are 89% for the Devils and 84% for the 89% for the Stars and 84% for the Devils. So penalty kills have been real strong. This is going to be, it's a back-to-back too. So I don't want anything to do with this game, Pete. It's a tough cop, in my opinion. Really. What do you think in the chat?
Very interesting comments. First of all, we got Rocco Rogers saying, I love my Stars, but the Devils smash. Mally Mal, look at this opinion. Jersey are not really for real. They were playing bad teams. Okay. Let's see. Other people, a lot of then Real Deal Prime says, I can't fade New Jersey. Lindy Ruff behind the bench. They're going to be fine. Mike M, shout out to Mike M. Pimp Slap Play. He says, Christmas is coming up, and those young guys with money are too busy thinking about Christmas cocktails. Wait till after the new year to get the buy sign back on New Jersey.
That's a guy who's been there, done that. Mikey M. I know Mikey M. He loves his hockey. He goes to AHL games too at Rochester. But yeah, that's just, it's true. That's facts. And that's why you could see that could be a reason right there for some of these unders. It's just literally so much other things going on. And with COVID not here like it was the last few years, you got to think families are meeting up a lot more than ever. So good point.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so not a lot of support for New Jersey here. Let's take a quick glance at the money. Nothing as far as the majority of the tickets and bets are on New Jersey, but no line value according to the site we look at. The majority of the tickets are on the under. So that's interesting. Okay. Wow. I haven't bet this one yet, and I was going to pull the trigger on the Devils, but maybe I'll hold off. You think the Stars will come back here, huh?
Yeah, I think this could be an under. I think it could be an under back to back for both teams. It's going to be the goaltending. I trust Akira Schmid more than I do Wedgwood. Wedgwood is, though, he's 4-3, 4-3-1 on the road with a .912. So he actually has good numbers on the road. So I lean to the unders. Maybe no goal in the first 9 minutes. That would be where I lean, but it's not going to make my career. No.
You try, yeah.
Just the back-to-back angle would be the only reason there. It's not. I can make cases for both teams, both sides. So it's a game I want to stay off. We got so many other ones on.
Yeah. All right. I would love to pull the trigger on the under as well. But all right. I guess let's move on. LA Buffalo. Let's talk about this one. Buffalo had that 9-goal explosion 3 games ago, and then lost 2 in a row, both to Pittsburgh. LA, a decent team. They're 2-2 on their current road trip, kind of 50-50 in general. And, I was thinking, my initial thoughts were maybe over, maybe Buffalo. I know that LA has Drew Doughty out. He's a defenseman who matters. So I've read. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Drew Doughty. Yeah.
Drew Doughty. Yeah. And quick I believe is expected to play here, but that backup Copley has been playing pretty well. So if I was going to take Buffalo, I'd kind of prefer Quick to be in there. I don't know. My initial thoughts were maybe Buffalo, maybe over, maybe Buffalo team total over. What do you think?
Yeah, this could be. I think these are the two of the fastest. These two teams, Pete, are probably the fastest in the league. Maybe there's a couple other ones, but LA and Buffalo, this could be just a real goal fest. I like to see what they did last time, but LA's won two of the last three. Two of the last three have also gone to the under. But you look at Buffalo, 9-4, 4-3, 3-1 and they're coming off a 3-1. This is the big thing for Buffalo, Pete. They're coming off 3-1 against Pittsburgh. They're gonna fight here against the Kings, who are missing Doughty. Looking at the penalty kills here we go. We're talking about the 80% for the last game. We're looking at 64% penalty kill for the Kings in the last 10 games, and that's been on a long road trip. And this is the last game, I believe, on the road for the Kings. So I don't have high hopes for them stopping many pucks here, but they're coming off that 6-5 loss. They can score. They're offensively, Pete. They got a lot of they're similar makeup hockey teams. Velarde, good young player. Kyliev, who else they got here? On defense there, Jersey. I got to lean towards goals, guys. So where we're going to go with this is right away, 3-1 loss. Buffalo comes out hot early. I could see LA scoring a goal, both Buffalo, LA scoring. So both teams to score. We got that one at plus 125. And I'm also taking, shop around for this one, both teams to score 3 goals, Pete, plus 125. So
wow.
That's kind of like taking an over 6.5, I guess you could say, but I'm getting just both teams to score 3 because I really think it's going to be a cagey affair, back and forth. Don't have much trust in Quick, and they're going to have Anderson going, who's 2-3 at home with a .905 save percentage. Both goalies have over 3.0 goals against. Goals saved above expected is -13 for Quick, +2 for Anderson. I think there's going to be goals, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing, not confirmed or even likely or anything, but I am seeing Copley listed.
See, if Copley goes, that would help the case for the Kings. But even so, he came up from the AHL. He was on Hershey, went over to the Ontario. He is playing better, but again, Buffalo, they're firepower, Pete. They're a real quick hockey team, and I think both defenses would struggle. I would lean towards, at this line, -104 for Buffalo is pretty low. I would lean towards the money line on Buffalo if the numbers. I would have thought Buffalo would be a little more of a favorite here, to be honest. So
yeah, me too. Why are they such a low line? Why is this such a low line?
That's anyone in the chat see anything about the injuries? I didn't see anything on Buffalo here. Just look at Buffalo quick. Skinner. Okay, there you go. There's one right there. So Jeff Skinner and Hinostroza, Yarik and Yoki Haru. They're don't look like they're in. So there's a couple players there they're missing. So that I can see that being why, Pete, because Skinner, Yoki Haru, and even Hinostroza, that's some key pieces right there for Buffalo. But despite that, I'm still gonna trust it here, guys. Even with Phoenix Copley going, both teams to score in the first period, and both teams to score 3 goals is also plus 125. I'm gonna maybe leave that one off. Trust the gut here. I'm gonna just go with the first period. Even though I do think if there's a power play or two here. I think we can get some goals. Mikey M, what do you say? Mikey M saying both teams don't match up well. Yeah, and in the case that I think both offenses can take advantage of the defense, especially you got Velarde, you got a full lineup for the Kings. So,
all right, I'll start off. I kind of agree with you. I think it is likely to be a high scoring fast. So I'll take a first period over 1.5 minus 160. That's the current line of Pinnacle. First period over 1.5 minus 160. I'll take that. As far as the full game is concerned, I'm gonna hold off for now. Site we look at for line value says nothing on this one, although the majority of the tickets, 63% of the tickets and 85% of the cash is on Buffalo, which is kind of telling to me, actually, because if Buffalo, the line seems low. You got the bets coming in. You got the bigger bets coming in on Buffalo, but no line value. That has me very nervous. I'm thinking maybe LA is the play. And the 70% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the over. No surprise there. I'll take the first period over, and you're going to take both teams to score in the first period, right, Gogi?
Yeah, and you know what, Pete? I'm going to take plus 125, both teams to score 3 goals as well. I really have a hard – just looking at the Buffalo lineup there, Real Deal's spot on. They're a deep hockey team when it comes to offense. They're AHL team. You got Peyton Krebs in the fourth line with Okposo, who's assistant or captain. They brought up Yost now. They brought him and on the team with Olofsson and Asplund. JJ Pictura with Cousins and Jack Quinn, really young line. And their top line with Tuck, Thompson, and Middlestat. Even without Skinner, I still think this team – and you saw what Thompson did a couple games ago, 4 goals in the first period, broke a record. So, there's offense here to be had.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Mike M. Giving some interesting, opinions on the Kings, saying that they usually play well against Buffalo, saying some teams don't match up well, but Real Deal Prime saying Sabres lost the Pens due to penalties, not tonight. Slatsy also talking about how the Kings. Wait a minute, he's saying that the Kings are not. He's quoting. He's saying the Kings have not played well in Buffalo. So okay. I'm just looking at this. Real Deal Prime says Sabres are fine, loaded with talent. All right. Let me see. I'm looking. Okay.
The Kings are going to come in here and shut anybody out. They're not going to come here and just shut the door on Buffalo. They're coming off a 3-1 loss, 4-3. Both of those games, they played Pittsburgh back-to-back. That's not an easy team to play compared to the Kings, who are on, their 4th or 5th road game out east here. So,
okay, let's move on. Huge shout out to Nutflesh Allen. Isles Boston is our next game up here. Isles off a shutout loss, and Boston returning from their West Coast trip they beat Vegas in their last game of the trip. That was a nice one. And the Islanders had a big win against Jersey. That was big. Then they had a back-to-back, got shut out in their next one. I don't think I bet that one, but I should have. That was super obvious if I didn't. This one has Isles first period written all over it. Again, similar question with Boston as we have with New Jersey. They were flat out awesome for most of the season so far. Then a little bit of a 50-50-ish road trip, although they are coming off a good win. Is Boston still awesome, or are they coming back down to earth now? They did lose to Arizona and twice to Vegas over the last 4 games.
Well, it just proves that at any point in time, any team can lose. But I wouldn't expect this kind of reminds me. Remember when Tampa Bay guys weren't losing like back-to-back hockey games? That's going to be like Boston. They're probably not going to lose more than 1 or 2 games in a row. They're just that good of a hockey team, coach top to bottom. So, in this game, Pete, you're reading my mail, buddy. First period, New York Islanders. That's at plus 150. That's a juicy number for a team
plus 162 at Pinnacle.
Oh, even better. Gotta love Penny. I'm going to write that down. Thanks, Pete. 162. This team's beat them, Pete, 4 of the last 5 times, too. The Islanders have had this team's number. This is just that tough style of hockey. It matches up well, in my opinion, Mikey. This team, I think, matches up well against Boston. You got Sorokin and Swayman. Sorokin, I think, is top 5 goalie in the league. I've been saying it all year. Coming off a loss 3-0 from the Islanders, too, Pete. Coming off a 3-0 loss from the Islanders, too. You're not going to see that too often at home against Carolina, too. First period, I really think they're going to come out strong, Pete. Boston's coming off their road trip at West where they won 3-1 against Vegas. Could come from behind win. That's why I'm not on the Islanders full game, guys, just because of how good Boston is. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Islanders do win this game, to be honest, Pete. But I'm going to take the plus 160, 162 with you there, brother. Just think the spot's great for them. Swayman, too, he hasn't looked nearly as good this year. .886 save percentage, 2.80 goals against, minus 3.61 goals saved above expected. So look for the Islanders. Even a team total over 2.5 on the Islanders. You don't usually take many team total overs against Boston, but this could be a spot.
Yeah, I will go with you as well, but a little bit of respect for Boston. I'll take the Islanders first period plus a half at minus 144. So if it's zip or 1-1, I'll get a cash there. Islanders first period plus a half minus 144. Gogi and I both on Islanders early. Let's take a look at the money and the comments section. Wow, okay, an extremely teeny fingernails worth of value on Boston, according to this site that we look at. But again, that is full game. That could also change. It's very, very teeny there. Although the huger bets are on the Islanders. Look at this: 23% of the tickets on the Islanders, 80% of the cash on the Islanders.
Pete, that number's way too high. Why Boston should not be minus 270 against the Islanders? Come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, so you think that they are legit? Yeah. Okay. Right. So they're
That's
a team.
why.
Yeah.
Like half the reason's got to be that number. You see that number. They've won 4 of the last 5, coming off a 3-0 loss against Carolina. Boston's coming back from the road trip here. You got that number. I would have put this at probably minus 190.
Right. I mean, when you have that big of a line, it's usually because you're playing one of those dog shit teams that's like, can they win a game? Yeah, they can win a game once in a while. But that's not what the Islanders are, right?
No, they're much better. Yeah, I'm looking at the energies. Yeah, they're missing Bolivier, but I'll bring it up really quickly. They should be. They're fine defensively. This is a good hockey team, hard hockey team, especially Romanov there. Salo, Pollock, Mayfield. They got a deep defense here. Look to see their third line. Third line's got Pajot, Holmstrom, Parise, Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck's on the second line. That's interesting. Bailey and Nelson with Wallstrom at the top with Barzell and Lee. Doesn't scream a lot of offense there. Really doesn't. But that's the kind of team you don't. An underway wouldn't be a bad play in this game too, guys, I think. But I'm going to trust the fact coming out strong in the first period. That's what Vegas did too, actually, against Boston. They were up 1-0 against Boston after the first. So, and you're getting them coming back off the road trip. They lost 3-0 in their last game. Islanders are going to come out strong. That's one of the stronger plays on the card at plus 162 too. Wow.
And the Isles are in general a pretty tight defensive team, right?
Very much so. Looking at their team, they're not like a Buffalo or the LA Kings where they got offense just up top to bottom. They got a couple guys that they're going to look for. Bolivier not being in the lineup does hurt them a little bit offensively, but I really for the last 5 too, they've had this team's number. Not a good spot, I think, for Boston either. Yeah.
All right, listen to this, Gogi. Again, getting safe here, and I'm gonna take another big favorite line. I'm gonna take Isles Boston first period under 2 minus 188. So if they get 2 goals, then I get away with a push. If they get to 3, okay, fine. I'll eat the 2 units of loss, but minus 188 Isles Boston first period under 2.
That's not bad. I would have thought it would maybe minus 200 on the.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you're taking big favorite lines, you want to see low volatility, and I think that is what we have here. There might be some fluky plays that might make it, be a 2-zip or 1-1 first period, but 3, I think is.
I was told to tell you guys it's Varlamov.
Oh, thank you guys, thank you. Okay, so we got Varlamov in net. Quick look up of Varlamov, Pete. Why don't you just take the wheel for a sec?
Yeah, sure. You're looking it up, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Varlamov here real quick. I just got to see how he's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, my sense is that the Islanders, defensive capabilities are team wide. They're not like reliant on the goalies. So it's when I think of the Islanders, Sorokin or Varlamov are roughly interchangeable. If I'm liking a side or a total with the Islanders, it doesn't matter that much which one is in goal. But I might be way wrong about that. Let's look at the comment section and see if anyone has to say anything. Yeah, Jake Valance says Bruins are chippy. Let's see. Other comments are coming in. Varlamov. Yeah, and the comment section is in goal. Rocco Rogers said it 5 times in the comment section that it was Varlamov.
I got all these stats up here, brother. I don't have the chat up right now, but about Varlamov here, he's actually looked okay. Looking at the stats here, he's got a plus 3.95 goals saved above expected, 0.917 save percentage. On the road against Boston. Now that's where the full game makes me a little more worried with Varlamov. If it's a high importance game, like a really, high, if it's a really important game, you want Sorokin in net. But with Varlamov going, I don't, he's been okay this year. So first period, I'm still going to rock and roll with it. If Sorokin was in net, I would really like this under, even at a 6, guys, I don't mind it's a 6, Pete, the total. Yeah, 6. I don't mind that under. It's going down to the 5.5 too. Even with Varlamov, you got to think that it's going to be a cagey affair. That they always are between Islanders, Boston. I think we have another one here. Kind of surprised though if Sorokin's not going.
And I was thinking about the Boston team total under 3.5 on the overnight line, but I guess I should just pass on that, right?
Boston, sorry, team total under.
Yeah. They're chippy. I mean, they're a chippy team, like someone in the comment section just said.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that 3-1 win against Vegas. Vegas, they were a little banged up, but 60 minutes. This team's they know how to win hockey games, Pete.
Yeah, not applicable. Predicts a 4-2 Boston win. So that means a play on the under, maybe buying the 6.5 is okay, but probably I'm going to stay off the full game. Boston team total under. All right, let's
first period. Feel pretty confident, guys,
Yeah.
on the Islanders. I do think they're going to come out strong here. First period, even with Varlamov and net. Let's rock and roll.
Let's move on. Seattle, Tampa Bay. This was a tough one. I looked at it overnight. Pretty much thought that the lines were dead on. Tampa Bay playing very well. They've been winning, but Seattle, a scrappy team, a notch below Tampa Bay, but not too much further below than one notch. They beat Florida in their last game. They had lost 3 in a row before that, but before that, they've been playing great. Tampa Bay is so good right now and so good at home that they should be a big favorite here. But I wouldn't want to fade Seattle at this kind of a dog line because they are a quality team right now, I would say. Pass for me. You have anything on this one, Gogi?
Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I make cases for Seattle. It's just their penalty kill, Pete. It's been 60% in the last 10 games, where you're looking at Tampa Bay's got a 36% power play in the last 10 games. So they do get on the power play. It's bad news bears for the Kraken. Jones, though, he is – listen to this, Pete. Jones is 7-1 on the road, but he's got a .892 save percentage and a 3.07 goals against. So he allows at least 3 goals, but he's 7-1 because of the production you're seeing from Seattle. So not going to be easy going up against Vasilevsky, I think, here, though, Pete. 5-2 win against Nashville, 4-1 win against Florida. If anything, I would have to put maybe Tampa Bay in a money line parlay, but again, I don't really like this. I'm not high on this game. I lean towards Tampa Bay, though. Maybe a team total over 3.5 on Tampa Bay, but I believe that was like -120. That's what I have written down, guys. Not one I feel strong on, like that Islanders one, first period. I feel stronger on that because Seattle's coming off 3 losses: Washington, Montreal, Florida. Got that win against Florida a couple of nights ago. Are they just going to lay? They're probably going to come up with a good effort here. I really do think they are. I can't make a play on this with my money. I really can't.
All right. The bigger bets coming in on Seattle a bit, about 40% of the tickets, 55% of the money on Seattle, but no line value, according to this site we look at. And the majority of the bets coming in on the under as of right now. That doesn't really surprise me. I was thinking about that as well, but just thinking about it definitely didn't hit it. And let me look at this other site. Yeah, the under, maybe some sharp action come. Maybe the under is the way to go. I don't know. I was going to move on, but maybe the under at 6.5.
Yeah, just looking at their defense here, they are missing Alexiak, big Alexiak, 6'6". So there's one guy. Schultz too took a brutal hit from Lomberg. I don't know if you guys saw that hit, right on the numbers, right on the board. So Schultz is definitely not feeling 100%. Fleury, I guess he's day to day, but he is in. So I don't think their defense is 100% right now for Seattle. So I do think Tampa get it done, but I'm gonna have to lay off it.
Man, I'm really tempted more and more to take a shot with the under 6.5 -118. What do you think?
Say that again, sorry.
6.5 -118 under? No.
I wouldn't personally. No. That penalty kill is pretty damn bad too. The power play situation isn't good. Just looking at Seattle, they also claimed Eli Tolvanen from Nashville, so he just got some more offense. This is a team that could score Seattle, Pete. If anything, defensively, they're a little more weak, and even a net. So I'd be a little cold feet on the under. I do think Tampa Bay get it done.
Okay, not applicable likes over 6. Rocco Rogers, standard play on Tampa regulation. Rocco Rogers, I think by Tampa.
-118. I had that written down too.
Yeah, Slatsy, shout out to Slatsy, says Bolton regulation is power play versus a brutal Seattle penalty kill.
Yeah.
So maybe Tampa Bay team total over. What about that?
See, that's what I originally had written down was a 3.5 over team total and the regulation on Tampa Bay. I don't know. It's just the fact I'm seeing here that Seattle, they lost 4-1 against Washington, 4-2 against Montreal, at home against Montreal, 5-1 against Florida. They did just beat Florida 5-2. I do think Tampa Bay, like you guys are saying in the chat, they're getting their stride going, Rocco and MDR. So Yeah, you know what? Give me Tampa Bay regulation. You guys talked me back into this one. I'm going to take Tampa regulation. Yeah, I'm going to trust that.
Okay, quote a line there, Gogi.
Minus 118, brother.
And what about I'm being talked into. See, that's the thing. When we don't keep a brisk pace, we get talked into all these fucking losing dog shit picks. I'm thinking Tampa Bay team total over 3.5 at just minus 110.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, I have it written down. I wouldn't talk you off something I have written down originally. Minus 115, actually. Thank you, Slatsy. I'll take minus 115 penny there, Tampa Bay regulation. So they like you said, they're catching their stride. They've had this is their 5th home game. They've lost to Detroit. I just hope they don't lay an egg. That's my only worry here is that Tampa Bay just comes out flat. Yeah. That's my only, and that's why I didn't want to play it at the start. I kind of worried they might come up flat. And Seattle, they've lost 3 before that. They had a nice win 5-2. They're probably going to be rolling here.
All right, yeah, I'll pass on that one. Let's move on. Carolina, Detroit. Carolina off a shutout win. They've won 5 out of the last 6. And Detroit, a mid-range team, but with life to them. They got blasted by Florida in their last game, but they've been very competitive in general. They're back from their trip, which ended 5 days ago. And Carolina, though, that goalie's been good, Kochetkov, and they've been good on the road, very good on the road in general. But again, Detroit is a scrappy team. They're a home dog. I don't know. I was thinking maybe under. What do you think, Gogi?
Yeah, that's I'm going to be a brisk pace here, Pete. Let's do a little brisk pace for the last 6 games because I end up humming and hawing too much when we take so much time. Carolina, Detroit, I'm going to take no goal in the first 9 minutes here. Goalie situations, you're right. Kochetkov's look really good. Plus 4.07, goal saved above expected. Huso plus 6.43. Now, as long as we have those goalies, if we have Nedel Djokovic going, I do not want anything to do with an under here. And Kochetkov, the injury situation too. I know Anderson's been out. I don't know what they're doing with Ranta right now, guys, but you know what? Let's ride Kochetkov. This team's actually 15-6. Big thing here, though, injuries, guys. Aho is day-to-day, so again, check the beat writers. Foss should be in, so that does help Carolina's offense, but I'm gonna rock and roll. If you're looking at Detroit too, the last 5 games they've gone, they haven't gone over. They've had 1 push and 4 unders, so they're trending a lot more to the under, especially with these 2 goalies. Power play penalty kills. Both penalty kills, guys, are 83%, 80% in the last 10 games. 3 of the last 5 have gone under the total, when these teams have met. And 3 of the last 5, Detroit have had Carolina's number. So I think this will be a tight, cagey affair. I'm going to trust the no goal first 9 minutes here. That's at MGM minus 105, Pete. Yeah.
Well, we want to keep a brisk pace, Gogi, but if we got important shit to say, then we got to take the time to say it. Brisk pace means we don't want to sit here going, I don't know, what should I do? Help me figure it out. But if you have important shit to say, then you take the time to say it. And we have some important shit on this game, Gogi, so we're going to take the time to say it. The important shit is that at the site that we look at, all the games, 12 games on the card, almost no games have very few games. Only a few games have a little bit line value. This game, full line value. According to the site that we look at, this game has full line value on one side. That line value is bigger than all of the line value of the other games combined. Carolina, Detroit, full line value. Mr. Gokster, which side do you think the full line value is on?
Oh, Pete, I hate this game.
Oh
God,
this makes you uncomfortable, but it makes compelling content, so the numbers go up when we do this to you, Goldie.
All right, guys. All right, let's get another good laugh here. All right,
full line value,
full line value for 900. I'm gonna take Detroit.
Once again, wrong. Carolina, full line value. Can you believe that, Mr. Gokster? Full line value. According to the site we look at, more line value on Carolina than on any of the others, than on all the other sides on the card combined. What do you make of that, Gogi?
Well, Bertuzzi again. We got Perron. I like always going right over the lineups. Perron, Larkin, Raymond. Okay. Pew Sutter, Rasmussen, Kubalik, Ernie Kopp, Sundqvist. Then you got Bergergen, Villano, Cernak. This isn't they got some guys out, that's for sure. Fabry's out too. Along with Bertuzzi, Sherrod, Sider, Wallman, Hronek, who's looked a lot better. Carolina, if they don't have Aho too, this has got to be an under. I really, let me just go over the lineup real quickly. But Jesper Fast should be back. They got Jarvis with Kotkaniemi, Tara Vinen, good to see him back. Paul Stastny centering the first line. So that's just, it's not speed, go. That's the opposite of Aho. So I got to look at the no goal first 9 minutes. I'm going to keep, I would maybe lean towards Carolina here, Pete. Detroit, they lost 3-2 to Dallas, 5-1 to Florida. They did beat Tampa Bay 4-2, but I believe that's when they had Bertuzzi. I don't know what game Bertuzzi went out. It was in the last couple games. I don't want Detroit here. Carolina, we called the stinker they laid against Anaheim. Shout out to you guys in the chat there. They lost that one 4-3, but other than that, 3-0 win against the Islanders is really impressive. You got to maybe think this could be the play here. Maybe a Detroit team total under, maybe 2.
Right.
That's
what I was thinking. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna blindly trust this site we look at, and just in case, the line has moved in Carolina's favor by about 20 cents, which doesn't surprise me. I'm gonna make it an official play. Carolina -1 plus 105. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Carolina -1 plus 105. I would be leaning under as well, so I'm thinking maybe a Detroit team total under. Let's see what the money is here. Yeah, the total, just everything is split. Everything is split as far as the total is concerned.
-121.
Yeah, let me look at another site here. Let me see, where the hell is it? Yeah. There was supposedly some sharp action on the under, maybe. Yeah. Wow. Detroit. It doesn't seem like Detroit team total under would be a good play, but what we're looking at, that's what it is implying, isn't it?
Just talking out with you guys, that's kind of like what my conclusion was on this game. They're missing some offense. They've scored 2 against Dallas, 1 against Florida. Was 4 against Tampa Bay, but they, I believe they did have both Fabry. They also have Pisk, butchering his name, and Mata is also day-to-day. So, I kind of want to play that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to make it official. I'm going to double up. I'm going to take Detroit team total under 2.5 plus 115, current line at Heritage. Detroit team total under 2.5 plus 115, current line at Heritage. I'm going to double up on this one.
Wait. Detroit's team total under is plus 115?
2.5, yeah.
Holy geez, -121 at this book. That just shows you how well line shopping is, even offshores. I got so much action, Pete. I'm gonna stay off this one.
Okay.
I do agree. It's just, I hate taking teams to lay down after 5-1 loss, 3-2 loss, but the makeup of their hockey team just doesn't look good. They're coming off. They also have a back-to-back, I believe, real quickly here. Yeah, they have a back-to-back. No, guys in the chat against Minnesota tomorrow. So that doesn't help. I don't think that helps the case. They do have a back-to-back against the Wild tomorrow. So
yeah. All right, so I'm just looking at the comment section. Great comments. Rocco Rogers says Carolina been getting bet all day, but I lean Detroit. Real Deal Prime leaning Detroit, and Rocco Rogers also leaning under. And and when I asked which sides people thought had value, Mike M said Carolina. Detroit. Real Deal Prime said Detroit. Chris Comatini says gotta be Detroit, and then blown the F away when he heard that it was Carolina. Christopher Comatini blown away when he heard that Carolina was the side. Let's see. And now Christopher Comatini sarcastically and rhetorically asking, so what should Carolina be, -200? I don't know. Yeah, probably at that point, sharp action would come in on Detroit because the Sharps bet numbers, So what should Carolina be? I'm not sure, but I've taken them officially. And Gogi, what have you done officially here? Pass?
I know I got no goal in the first 9 minutes here.
Okay.
That's at -105. But whenever you have a goal, you Ville Husso, he could steal a game. Carolina can be the better team the whole goddamn game. They would shoot him 35-20, but Detroit can win the game 2-1 or something like that, right? So, I think there's going to be no goal. The one thing is, though, this is Nettle's former team, and they got a back-to-back tomorrow. So, I expect Husso to go, but the last thing we want is to see Ned going up against his former team, in my opinion. Because they got the back-to-back. So I think Ned's going tomorrow, but that's just an interesting thing to keep in mind there, guys, back-to-back. So just make sure there's confirmation on Husso.
Yeah. Okay. MDR24 says Detroit really can't freaking score most nights. Spencer Penguije likes first period under 1.5 plus 105. And Mike M says Carolina in regulation, puck line, however you want. Whack 'em, looks good. All right. That's good. I'm taking them 2 ways. Let's move on. Edmonton, Nashville. Both these are on a teams are on a back-to-back. Nashville just having problems on offense right now. I'm assuming Campbell will be in goal for Edmonton. How is he? Edmonton, both teams also lost last night. Nashville in OT. My first thought was definitely Edmonton here. What do you think?
Lankinen should be going in net now. He's actually been a lot better, Pete. He's got a 9.34 save percentage, 2.27 goals against, plus 7 goals saved above expected. I don't know how long that's going to hold up. It's his first home game of the year, too. Nashville is 6-3-1 in the last 10 games, despite them. I believe I have those numbers right, but despite them being, not looking too good, they lost that 1-0 game against St. Louis. You see many 1-0 games. I actually thought there'd be goals there. 3-2 loss against Ottawa, 5-2 loss against Tampa Bay. It's a back-to-back. I think this could be a goal fest here, Pete, to be honest. Penalty kills are 70% for Nashville, 67% for Edmonton. Looking at the injuries real quick, Fogel's out. Nashville have McDonough and McCarron out. Also, Carrier and Lausanne are day-to-day. So Nashville's got some guys banged up in the back end. You got their backup goalie going. Edmonton's coming off that loss last night. I believe, yes, they did, right, Pete? They came off that loss, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2-1. Low-scoring games, too. So I don't see another one. Like, I don't see this being a low-scoring game, guys. I'm leaning to both teams to score in the first period. First period over. Both teams to score 3 goals if you want to go crazy here. I just with Campbell, he hasn't looked good on the road really at all, Pete. 0.868 save percentage, 4.17 goals against, and you could have some tired legs here. Travel spot 2 for Nashville. They're coming back from St. Louis, and then Minnesota's going all the way down to Nashville. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the line has moved 15 cents in Edmonton's favor. I thought that Edmonton that was the way I was leaning on the overnight line, but I didn't bet it, and now it has moved 15 cents in their favor since the overnight line. As far as the money is concerned, pretty much nothing on the no line value either which way on the side or the total, according to the sites we look at. Another site that I look at says maybe some respectable money coming in on Nashville, but that's it. All right, I think I'd still be leaning Edmonton, but as the line creeps up, no, it's going to be a pass for me. Christopher Comatini says over. MDR says Nashville second worst scoring offense. Only the Blackhawks are worse. Spencer Penije says fade Jack Campbell. All right, pass for me, pass for you, right, Gogi?
Yeah, it's a good point though. This hockey team's they got problems right now. It starts with their coach too. I think that that guy's not getting it done. Slipped my mind right now. Hayes, I believe it is. Leftover trash from the Devils. They got problems similar to Florida, I'd say.
Okay, next game, Vegas and Winnipeg. Vegas, again, kind of 50-50 right now. A lot of injuries. They're off a loss to Boston. Winnipeg, had been winning, and then a blowout loss to Washington. Vegas has been great on the road this year, though. They've beaten Winnipeg twice. And Winnipeg, maybe that's in their minds. Again, I was thinking maybe a shot with the under, maybe a shot with first period under. And I know that the injury situation for Vegas is important. What's your take on this one? I was thinking maybe under, maybe Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I'm looking at too here, Pete. Just finding Vegas. Yeah, Pietrangelo, Howden, Whitecloud, Eichel, and Theodore. I believe all those guys are at least Whitecloud, Eichel, and Theodore day-to-day. Actually looks like Whitecloud and Eichel are not going to be in. Petrangelo's out. They got a lot of defense are out right now, Pete. A lot of offensive defense and Pietrangelo and Theodore and even Whitecloud. So let me just bring up the Vegas team right now, see how they look in the back end. But I do think a bounce back for Winnipeg is in the question coming off that 5-2 loss to Washington. Martinez, McNabb. Then they got Daniil Mirmanov. Not too familiar with him. Ben Hutton and then Braden Patchell. So got a lot of young guys that have called up on the back end. Paul Cotter. Okay, here we go. Paul Cotter, AHLer, is on the first line with Stevenson and Stone. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Don't know what you're going to get there. Carlson, Riley Spin, March or so. That's their number one line. And then look at this. They got Jake Lechishinin. I'm butchering his name. Amadio, Kessel, Carrier. They got a lot of kind of not tryouts, but a lot of guys that don't have a lot of NHL experience there. So you're coming off that loss too. I don't think this is a good spot for Vegas. Their offense should struggle here, I think, against Hellebuck, as long as Hellebuck's going. He's got a point.
Yes, he's confirmed.
Okay, .930 save percentage, plus 18 goals saved above expected. Now Thompson, he's no slack himself, but I'm going to take. I got 2 plays here. I'm a little, you know what? Actually, I'm only going to make it 1. I was going to take no goal in the first 9 or even a first period under here, but just don't know what I'm going to get on the back end from Vegas here. And even Thompson, guys, keep a close eye on Thompson because it's not like he's done this before. He's a rookie here in this spot, so he's looked really good, but with a very little defense at the back end and their offense not being, what we've seen, and with no Eichel, I do think Winnipeg get this done. I'm going to take them in regulation, Pete. That's going to be plus 120.
So Vegas is kind of a crappy team right now, or middling at best.
Offense, Paul Cotter be on their first line. Then you got their third, other than their second line with Marchessault, Carlson, and Smith, where they're all familiar with each other. Like that's their line. Cotter being called up there, it's you don't know what you're going to get. Then you got Mike Amadio with Jake Lechation, and I'm butchering his name. And then Kessel. It doesn't seem like a lot of offense. It's a lot of just kind of I feel like they're going to be changing up their lines a lot. It doesn't scream a W. And even with their defense too, other than Martinez and McNabb and Nicholas Hague, their defense is hurting too. So,
okay, quick question. I don't follow the NHL that closely. Their last road trip, they won 3 out of 4 games against some solid competition. Do they have more injuries than they had during that road trip? They beat Boston? Go ahead.
Different team, yeah. I can tell you right now, this is not what I would have expected to see from their 4 lines. It doesn't look the same, and even on defense here, you're missing Pietrangelo, Pete, Theodore, Eichel, and Whitecloud, even Howden. That's important pieces. You're missing your top 3 or your top 4 defensemen, I'd say right there. And even Eichel, you're not having him. And then it seems like they're bringing up some guys from this Henderson Silver Knights here with Cotter, Amadio, even this Lechation guy. And they're 0-4. There's a great stat from Slat too. They're 0-4 the last 4 in Winnipeg. Vegas coming back down to earth. Andrew G says positive regression. Pass spot for not applicable. I'm gonna go rock with our guy, Real Deal Rocco. Mikey M here. Jets are 14-0 versus non-Metro teams, so that shows they just struggle versus the Metro. I'm going to trust this one at home. Bounce back for Winnipeg. Regulation plus 120.
Okay, great to talk it out with you. I think I'm gonna go on it with you guys. According to the site we look at, an extremely teeny sliver of line value with Winnipeg. Seems like a standard little play there to take Winnipeg here. Would you be leaning under? What we don't want to. We've got to keep a brisk pace. What about Vegas team total under 2.5 at like plus 125?
Don't mind that at all. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. The penalty kill for Vegas is 69% in the last 10 games, 80% for Winnipeg, and they're humming at a 30% power play in the last 10 for Winnipeg. So. I do think Winnipeg get this one done. Thompson stands on his head. That's the only chance I really think they have here is if Thompson stands on their head. So yeah, that Vegas team total under, I do like that, Pete.
It's again, we want to keep Vegas has been so good on the road though.
Yeah, this is a different hockey team. You got the top goalie going. Different hockey team. You got a bad and all those spots in the Western road trip. You got Edmonton's goalie's been a sieve. Markstrom's been bad. Demko and Spencer Martin, they've been okay. This is the best goalie at West by far. So this is
all right.
Vegas.
I'm going to go on it with you. I'm going to take Winnipeg, and I'm just going to take the full game money line minus 129. That's the current line at Heritage. Winnipeg money line minus 129. Leaning Vegas team total under as well. Wow, there's a 3.5. All right. When they offer me a huge favorite line, I can't say no. I'll double up. I'll take Vegas team total under 3.5 minus 165. Yeah, it's not even that big. That minus 165, that is just the third highest favorite line I've taken. I have 2 bigger favorite lines on today's card, but I'll take it. I'll double up.
Yeah, I like that. You know what I might do there, guys? Little same game parlay. I might take an under 3.5 and throw a little Winnipeg to win. Get it up to plus money.
Real Deal Prime predicts 4-1 Jets, which means that my team total under will cash. All right, let's move on. Washington, Chicago. Washington has won 4 in a row now. Chicago just awful though, right? Lost 11 out of their last 12. They've also been going way low. They just can't really score. Washington has had some injuries, though. They're a huge favorite here. As much as I love favorites, this was not a line I was thinking about taking. Definitely wasn't thinking about taking Chicago, but definitely don't really want Washington here either. Probably going to be a pass for me. What do you think, Gogi?
Yeah, just quickly, Martin Jones is not in it. It's going to be Philip Grubauer. Don't like that at all. This guy's just as bad as Jones. I think Tampa Bay's the spot there. Looking at this game, though, Washington, Chicago. Mrazek's going to be starting his first start, and what do I have here? Since December the 3rd. So I thought it was going to be Soderblom. He's actually been struggling. So they're going back to Mrazek. Don't think that's a great thing, to be honest, Pete. This team's got a 69% penalty kill in the last 10 games. Washington's got an 88% penalty kill. Defensively, this team's just been real good. Even without Kemper, Lindgren's been a real bright spot for this team since they got rid of Vanacek to the Devils. He's got a .910 save percentage, 2.79 goals against, 2.0 goals saved above expected. Only thing with Washington, eventually Washington's going to be a bet on team, Pete. Once they get back, just look at the injuries. They got Alexiev, Kemper, Wilson, Fairvey, and Gustafsson. They're all out, at least Gustafsson's day-to-day. So they're slowly getting healthy. They're starting to look like a much tougher hockey team to play against. Ovechkin's got like 4 empty net goals in the last 2 games or something like that. So they're a bet on team, in my opinion, right now. And Chicago has not looked that good. So what's the line here? I'm going to add a little money line parlay live on this show. Since the confirmation of Philip Grubauer, I'm going to take Tampa Bay. Actually, what I'm going to do, Pete, instead of doing the regulation on Tampa Bay with the I think I took a -118. I'm going to take a money line parlay Washington and Tampa Bay, and just see what I can get that at. I do think Washington are going to continue to roll. They can't score right now, Chicago guys, and they got a real bad penalty kill. This is the first start for Mrazek. I don't have high hopes for Mrazek. I really don't. So give me Washington here.
Yeah, I was assuming Soderblom was going to be in goal again. It's going to be a pass for me, though. All right, and you're going to take Washington in the comment here. Well, let me just quickly check. See if oh wow, look at that! Very small, teeny amount of line value on Washington, according to this site that we look at. Despite the fact that the bigger bets are coming in on Chicago, 14% of the tickets and 44% of the cash on Chicago, but respectable bets coming in on Washington. Teeny line value on Washington, nothing really on the total. And Real Deal Prime says Washington smashes. Christopher Comatini suggesting a Caps Lightning parlay. That's interesting. And
that's it. Yep, that's the one. Yeah. Plus 130, I got that at.
And Billy Friedrich says Mrazek's been terrible. All right, I'm gonna pass on this one. Let's move on. Go Philly and Colorado. Colorado is a big favorite, and Philly is just not very good right now. Colorado got an OT win in their last game, but 4 straight losses before that. And Colorado has a bunch of injuries, but they're kind of getting it done with a makeshift lineup. Some of these guys are close to returning. What the hell is that?
I got a siren there. It's got a fire alarm.
I'm on the street here. Anyway,
that's okay. I'll take it over here, Pete. Yeah, this game.
No, it's all right. Okay. I think this is going to be a pass for me. Philly just not very good right now, and Colorado off the OT win. Again, I was thinking under.
Yeah, there you go. Mike M. Pimp Slap play of the day. Glad I can.
There you go.
Under 6, and I can take a little chunk of that. I'm going to take the no goal and put the joint out, Pete. Yeah, Pete, you can't be smoking in there. Make sure the detectors are off, eh? But yeah, Pimp Slap play of the day under 6. I'm going to rock with the no goal in the first 9 minutes here. And you know what? I even wrote down full game under 6 -114. So let's rock and roll. Double up spot here. The injuries for Colorado, as a lot of you guys know, McKinnon, Helm, Landeskog, Nansen, McDermott, Byram, and Rodriguez is day-to-day. They got a lot of guys out. I'll bring up their lineups real quick here. But the Philly team, you got 2 strong goalies here. That's the big thing. You got not much offense, in my opinion, on both sides. And you got strong goaltenders here. Goals saved above expected. You got 9 for Georgiev, 3 for Hart. Save percentages are .914, .920. The only thing here would be the 74% penalty kill and the 77% penalty kill for Colorado. Their penalty kills have not been that good of late, but you don't have power plays that are humming in the last 10 games, 17%. And 9, there you go. Put on the mute there, mate. There, Loshak.
Fuck up. I'm doing an NHL capping video here.
Yeah. Beat it, huh?
Up. Yep. There you go. You see, they respect my voice here. They're like, dude, look.
Oh, fucking Alexa.
I said, shut the fuck. There you go. Gave him a look. He knew what he was talking about.
The finger.
Get the fuck out of here.
There you go.
The fuck out of here. Run. All right, he's gone.
That's Pete on the street right there. I love that. That's great. Philly. So yeah, Philly.
No, I know. I love you, but get the fuck out of here. All right. I'm going to take a shot with and get on this play though. Philly under. Buy the 6. Take the 6. Take the 6. All right. I'm going to take for an official play. I'm going to tell all this shit. Under 6 minus 117. Or maybe 6.5 minus 145. Look at that. Look at that. Now, I'll just take 6 minus 117. I'm going to take what do we got? Who are the teams? Oh, yeah, Philly and Colorado under 6 minus 117. That's the current line at Pinnacle. And as far as the money on this game, wow, yeah, no line value. The bigger bets coming in on Philly, though. 16% of the tickets and 66% of the cash on Philly, but no line value. And the total is split. So that makes me think that the under is probably an okay play.
Yeah, I like the under. And this, you never know. It could be a spot for Philly because this is a banged-up Colorado team right now. They got first line Rantanen, Nichushkin, Lehkonen. Jesus, all the ends here. The real European line. Comper, Cogliano, O'Connor. Jesus. Charles Hudon. Oh, God. So, yeah, this line of holy, it doesn't look anything like they did at Stanley Cup team. So, the under, it screams under. And you know what? I wouldn't talk anyone off maybe a Philly first period or yeah, I think even a Colorado team total under 3, if you want to get, because they're such a heavy favorite here, minus 200. I don't think Colorado is going to score a lot here. I really don't. Not with that lineup.
Yeah. Wow. All right. I'm just shook a little bit. Yeah, man. Wow. Maybe a team total under. All right. I'm not going to go crazy here. I'm just going to take the regular under, and you're on it as well, right?
Yeah, 2 ways here. I got no goal first 9. That's at minus 105. And full game under 6, minus 114.
Damn, the first period under is tempting as well, right?
Wow, Mikey M just says they're in an 0-24 spot here in Colorado tonight. Just horrible. But again, it's the team they're bringing up here. It's not a Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup team. You know, hopefully they don't pull an LA Rams beat and just fall off the face of the earth. But this is a good spot for Philly, I think here.
Yeah. You know what? I'm also going to double up on this one. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take first period under 2 minus 188. Current line of Pinnacle. Philly, Colorado. First period under 2 minus 188. All right. Now let's move on. Arizona, San Jose, last game on the card. We got Arizona 2 straight home wins after a long run of losing, and then San Jose blasted Anaheim last game, but they were losing before that. Seems like a San Jose spot, but the line is just so huge. Arizona's awful, but San Jose is not much better. I didn't know what to make of this one. If it were, minus 125, I would have taken San Jose, but on the overnight line, it was in the 150s. Can't take Arizona though, despite the dog line. What do you like here, Gogi?
That's the dumpster fire game. Just going back to one game though, guys. Chicago, Washington. I'm actually on Chicago, Pete. Team total under 2.5, minus 130. I don't see Chicago scoring more than 3 goals there. Just a little addition. Looking at the last game on the card, though, Vejmelka, Reimer's coming back off of a little bit of an injury stint. He's 0-6-2, Pete. The guy hasn't won a game at home. 0.888 save percentage, 3.52 goals against. Power play, though, for Arizona in the last 10 games is only 7%. Both penalty kills are 67, 72. Not that good. I would lean towards some goals here. 3 of the last 4 have gone over the total. And just looking at these games, the last 3 games for both teams have gone over at least 7 goals. So maybe a first period, both teams to score in a full game over is where I would lean. Not going to make the card, guys, but I would lean towards some goals here. Arizona, San Jose, and Arizona can win this game. San Jose is banged up right now. No Barbanov, Nieto, Ferraro, and Couture, their captain. Logan Couture could be day to day. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I was thinking about the over as well, but sometimes when you have 2 really bad teams playing each other, they both get excited because they might be able to win, and they play a different brand of game. And the total, it seems, has gotten bet down. It was 6.5 on the overnight line. Now it's 6, so the total is getting bet down. That makes me think that the under might be the play here. No line value as far as the side is concerned. The majority of the bets coming in on San Jose, not a surprise there, and nothing on the total. Everything split about 50-50 on the total as far as the bets are concerned. But it does appear that some sharp money might be coming in on the under. Definitely the total's gotten bet down, which is very interesting, Gogi.
If you're looking at hockey teams, Arizona's the healthier hockey team here over San Jose. Goaltending too, it's almost a wash, if you ask me, with Vijmelk and Reimer. So I, if anything, lean towards an Arizona full game first period. I don't usually take Arizona. Shout out to Clint. This might be the one time I do. And Matthias McKelly, shout out to him and Shelley. He's looked really good on that second line. So give me Arizona maybe here in a rare spot.
Is that going to be official, Gogi?
It's not. It's going to be a lean. And as you know, Pete, leans are pretty good on the show.
Yeah. All right. That wraps up the NHL segment. We both got a lot of plays, Gogi. Let's go over them. I'll start, okay?
Baby.
Toronto, -1, -356. Wow, that was really stupid. I shouldn't have done that, but I did it. So
you're just going up against me. It's okay.
-1, -356. I got Columbus, Florida, over 6, -155, and the Columbus team total over 2.5, -102. I got LA, Buffalo, first period, over 1.5, -160. I got Islanders, first period, +0.5, -144. I got Isles, Boston, first period, under 2, -188. I got Carolina, -1, +105. Detroit, team total under 2.5, +115. Winnipeg, money line, -129. Vegas, team total under 3.5, -165. And I got Philly, Colorado, under 6, -117. That's the pimp slap play of the day. And Philly, Colorado, first period, under 2, -188. Mr. Ghoster, review all your official plays for us, please.
That's a full plate right there, Peter.
Yeah.
Wow. There's not much room for any more stuffing or anything else.
I can see what's going to happen here coming a mile away. I'm going to be like 6-4, and then like 2 or 3 of the -200 favorites are going to lose. I'm going to wind up like 8-6, -3 units, something like that. That's all right. Let's go.
All right, guys. I love my plus money. I have nothing but a plus money machine over here. LA Kings, Buffalo. Both teams have scored 3 goals. Goal fest, +125. Both teams have scored in the first period, +125. Anaheim, Toronto. Both teams have scored in the first period as well, +165. And Anaheim, +2.5. Line's just too crazy here, -120. Islanders, first period, +162. Thanks to Peter there. I love that one. Detroit, Carolina, no goal in the first 9 minutes. That's -105. Vegas, Winnipeg. We're going to take them in regulation, +120. We got Philly, Colorado, no goal first 9 minutes, -105. Full game under 6, along with the pimp slap play of the day, -114. Chicago team total under 2.5, -130. And a parlay to finish it off. Washington, Tampa Bay, +130, Pete.
All right. Well, I hope one way or another we both come out at least positive a quarter of a unit. Then it's all good. It was a great show, Mr. Gogster. Thanks so much. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks as always, Pete. It's a pleasure. You guys be good. Stay safe out there. Cash some tickets and beat those bookies up. Be good.
All right. Awesome. All right. Now we got an NBA card. We have no guests for today, but that's all right. We're going to go over it. We'll see what the comment section has to say. We'll see what Jose Bouquett has to say, and we do have the money numbers here for NBA. An interesting 5-game slate on the card tonight, and I did make a couple of bets. I'm not sure if they were good bets, but I definitely had reason to make them. Let me just review all of my. Let me just change all my tabs here.
I would say it's big games in the card today in the NBA as well.
Yeah,
and like you mentioned, definitely if anyone in the comments have your plays, drop them in there because we need your help.
All right. Everyone in the comment section, help us out with this. Let's start with Sacramento, Philly, right? Sacramento is continuing their road trip. They're off a loss to the Knicks, unders recently. Philly off a blowout win over Charlotte. Embiid is playing great. And Sacramento appears to have some offensive issues with De'Aaron Fox out. This was a pass for me. I was thinking maybe a shot with the under, although that's a little bit iffy. And Philly has been playing so great. And are they going to continue to do it here? Probably yes. Is this going to be maybe a little bit of a slower paced game? I was thinking yes, but this is a game that I don't have any opinion on. Oh, and I also have some model numbers here. Jose Bouquett. Yeah, I have a model numbers, and I also have the public betting action, I have the sharp action, and I have the ref action. So I have the action that the refs are on for this game. That's very important to know who the refs
Good, yeah.
No, I don't have the ref action. Come on.
That. Joey Crawford's betting record. Let's find it out.
Now you can put that in the joke compilation year in review. No, I that's just a joke. I don't have the ref action here on these games. All right, let's see. But it would be great if we did. Let's see. Comments coming in. Let me see. Comments coming in. Yeah.
Sam Colmer likes Kings plus 5.5. I was actually leaning towards the Kings as well. I like the Kings a lot. They're the upstart team. I don't know if that's just public, barely capping the NBA, but I have liked the Kings and what I've seen from them this year. So bonuses look good, but I don't know who's going to guard Embiid.
The model that I have for NBA, not my model, it's a model that someone shares with me, likes the Kings here as well. Likes the Kings quite a bit, actually. The model likes the Kings quite a bit.
Billy Freeman saying Sixers 9-1 their last 10 at home ATS.
Sixers, yeah. No, I mean the Sixers have been great. Let's look at the betting action. An extremely teeny sliver of line value on the Kings as well. Despite the fact that the bigger bets are coming in on Philly, I'm thinking, the Kings might be the way to go here. Although looking at it on paper at first glance doesn't quite make sense. Embiid's playing great, right? Game in and game out, and the numbers the bets are coming in on the over. No hint on whether there's a value on the total as of right now. Yeah, nothing on the total at all. But it does appear that the Kings might have some betting value, and maybe I'll just tail that. And the line has gotten bet down; it's now down to 5. Why would that be, Jose Bouquett?
Kings are good.
Yeah, the Kings are good. All right, I think I will. I'll do it. I'll trust everything I'm looking at, and I will make that an official play here. It's going to be +5 minus 104. Maybe I should just take the first period. I don't know. I'm going to take Sacramento +5 minus 104. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I will go with it. Let's see what the comment section and everyone has to say.
Yep.
Yeah, Billy Friedrich says this may be a Kings first half, Sixers first spot. That's what I was thinking as well.
Nasty Nate, Bo Jackson, both liking Kings, and Nasty Nate also saying that Jay Money and Durrell are on the Kings as well.
Mm-hmm. Spencer Pennyage says if Fox is in, it's helped Sacramento, but he's still questionable. I was assuming he was going to be out. Maybe this news is that he was maybe the line move is just because he was upgraded to questionable or something. But yeah. All right, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that. Because and also I just don't want to bet against Philly right now. But yeah, all signs as of right now seem to be pointing towards Sacramento. Next one, this one, I don't know. Maybe I made a mistake here, Jose Bouquett. Milwaukee and Golden State. I took Milwaukee.
Yes.
I took them on the money line too. Golden State obviously rolling ATS, 7-2 ATS in their last 9, and Milwaukee's off a straight up road loss at Houston as a double-digit favorite. But again, that was the game where Houston got the news that Silas had passed. Houston is a young, energetic team, so that means that a lot of times they're going to kind of not have their shit together and underwhelm. But that when they're motivated, they play with a lot of life and energy, and that's exactly what happened in the Milwaukee game. Golden State, of course, coming off a great game against Boston where they clamped down. So this is maybe a little bit of a letdown spot. It's just that, if you bet Milwaukee, now you're betting against an excellent team that's been doing great ATS and giving them points. So that all combined means that's even more reason to like Milwaukee. I bet Milwaukee. Let's see what the comment section and the money has to say about this and the model and everything. But I bet Milwaukee.
I like Milwaukee in this game too.
Yeah.
I just think better team here in the Milwaukee Bucks. If we're all healthy. Who's going to guard Giannis? Draymond Green versus Giannis. I'll be interested to see that. And everyone knows how I feel about the Golden State Warriors. So I would like to see Drew Holiday and stuff.
Mike M likes the Bucks. Nasty Nate tells us that Jay Money is also on the Bucks first half and a full game. Let me see. And then yeah. So let's look at the the model supports a play on the Bucks, not necessarily strongly, but definitely supports it as far as the money is concerned. All right, well, this isn't great as of right now. Extremely tiny line value on Golden State, but that's just as of right now. That could change, despite the fact that 77% of the bets and 90% of the cash on Milwaukee. Extremely tiny line value on Golden State. and everything is on the over. All right. Well, let's see. Oliver Page.
Go ahead.
Warriors first half. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the same thing about Oliver Page's first half comment there. So we're on point right now, Pete.
Yeah, and there you go. Spencer Beanie EG says, take Golden State at home, fade on the road, plus the Bucks are great at the house. All right, listen, I bet Milwaukee. It's great to see that Jay Money likes them. I took him on the money line at like minus 170 at Pinnacle right now. You can get 166. I'll make that one an official play. Milwaukee Bucks money line minus 166, and maybe they're a good first half play as well. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I'm just going to take Milwaukee as a minus 166 as an official play.
You love it.
Yeah. Let's look at the. Let me just quickly take a look at one other side for and wow, and everything coming in on the over as far as bets are concerned. It has moved up. It's now up to 233. Yeah, the over might be
under there.
I'm sorry.
Would you lean towards the under there since all the money's on the over?
No, sharp action on the over as well, according to this site that we're looking at. But these are often they often change by tip off. I would be leaning Milwaukee team total over as well, but that's it. I'm just going to stick with the Milwaukee money line. Let's see what.
Beautiful.
Okay, next game on the card. Wow, another tough one. Phoenix and Houston. Houston, of course, coming off the emotional win after the Silas news, and now they're a home dog to Phoenix, who's been kind of slumping ATS wise, and Phoenix now a road favorite. And, Phoenix is sort of, not doing well defensively. I was thinking that maybe first quarter or first half under, because Houston, of course, when they're playing well, the last game that they won was very low scoring. And Phoenix has been slumping defensively and thinking that they might come in here and play a stronger defensive game. So I was thinking about an early under, either first half or first quarter or both. Let's look at the comment section and then look at the money and see what we have to say. Jose, do you have anything on this one? Did you see anything?
I just think it's weird that the Suns are this low. You said it just now. The struggles against the spread must be the reason why the line is so low. But maybe I've got the Houston Rockets are just a dog shit team bias because I expected this to be closer to like 9.5, to be honest.
Really? Yeah, I don't know. The model likes Houston just a little bit, but nothing too noteworthy. And then as far as the money is concerned, extremely teeny line value as of right now on Phoenix, but again, nothing particularly noteworthy. And the total is a split on the tickets and the money both ways. And I was thinking maybe a first half or a first quarter under. Maybe the market seems to be uncertain about this one. Leonard
Porsche is mentioning that Devin Booker might be out. I'm looking up right now to see what we have. I haven't seen anything yet, but D-Book might be out. As of 7 minutes ago, hamstring out. So there you go. There's another good reason why the line's on that. Yeah, if Booker's out, and I'm not Chris Paul going to run this team, no way. Yeah, I kind of like this now. It makes sense.
Yeah, and what about why is he? Yeah, I was thinking about maybe a shot with the under in the first half early. Sorry, and the first half and first quarter under. The first half under is significantly lower than 50% of the full game total, which is often kind of telling. Maybe I'll throw a shot on it, but it's just gosh, man, unders in the NBA are just so. Even you know what? I'm gonna hold off, but I definitely. Think that the first half under is probably the way. So with no Booker, that sort of supports the under as well, right?
Yeah, who's scoring the ball in Phoenix? I mean, DeAndre Ayton obviously not that prolific of a scorer. Shout out to Spenny. He also mentioned Jalen Green points. I like that as well. And then Leonard Porsche also mentioning here, Suns will have to try to win with defense. I think you're right, Pete.
Yeah,
under.
Yeah, you know what? I hate it when I have a read on an NBA game, but then I don't trust myself and it wins. So I will. I'll go with it. I'll take the first half under. I'll take the first half under Phoenix and Houston. Under 109.5 minus 104. That's the current line of Pinnacle. Under 109.5 minus 104. A little bit risky, but that's what I was thinking. And the market sort of seems to be supporting that a little bit. All right. Yeah, let me quickly check the comment section. Okay. Yeah, and I would add Sammy Culmer leans Phoenix. Shout out to Sammy Culmer. All right, let's move on. Next game, New Orleans and Utah.
Great game.
Is one. I'm sorry.
Great game.
Yeah, great game. I was thinking that maybe this is just a great game. Don't overthink it at all. No brainer at all. No brainer. Everything. Zion Williamson points over. Seems like a great spot for him. Great matchup. He's had great games. You know, he's playing well recently, and the matchup looks like he should have an even better game than normal here. Matchup problem, I think, for in this spot. I'm thinking Zion Williamson team total. Sorry, points scored over anything under 27 or 28. New Orleans, of course, has been great ATS for a while, and Utah off a cover as a double-digit road dog. But in general, they've been subpar ATS wise. They've had a lot of injury issues, and a bunch of those guys I know are going to be back. Markkanen, Conley, and Clarkson all played in the practice, so they have been out recently, and they're all going to play tonight, I'm almost certain. So I'm not sure about the side of the total, but definitely thinking that no matter what happens with the game, good spot for Williamson to score. We'll look at the comment section. Let me quickly look at the model here. Yeah, the model likes the Pelicans a little bit. Model likes the Pels a little bit. Let's quickly glance at the money. Let's see if there's anything there. Yeah, nothing on the side, and everything on the over. The money and the bet count and the money coming in on the over. I'm thinking about I don't know. Do you have any player prop? I can check Caesars to see what they're offering for Williamson. What do you have for the Zion Williamson prop?
I'll look at our friends on Bet Online because they are very good about this stuff. So Zion 28.5 at minus 114.
I'm seeing 27.5 minus 121 at Caesars. So that's pretty tempting right there. Let's see what the comment section has to say on this one. Spencer Penije says revenge spot for the Pels after losing by 1 to Utah earlier in the year. Mike M, thank you, comment section, for all these great comments. Slight sharp money coming in on the Jazz, or at least slightly bigger bets. And that's just as of right now. Things can change radically by tip-off. Bananas and Grapes says watch out for Clarkson. And Mike M says classic sell high spot. Teams on a 4+ winning streak playing conference opponent. They lost to as a favorite in the previous meeting are 6-30 ATS. Mike M likes the Jazz. Wow, look at that. Mike M likes the Jazz. Mike M, see, that's why. People are like, how does he do it? That's why. That's how he does it. Shout out to Mike M. Thanks so much for being in the comment section and hooking us up with that. That's fucking comment of the day right there. Comment of the day from Mike M. Wow. Classic sell high spot. The Jazz have got Jose Bouquett. What do you think? I'm not hemming and hawing. I'm just
first glance at it, I'm looking Pelicans, to be honest. But I like Mike M's comment here, and I trust Mike M with my money. Pimp slap play always be slapping away. So I'd go with Utah here as slight home dog, I guess, The Pelicans have had 2 tough games recently against the Suns. They were very emotional. The Jose Alvarado CP3 stuff. Maybe it's a bit of a letdown spot going to a sleepy Utah team and a Jazz team that's obviously motivated because they've proven everyone wrong, apparently, and they're not going to be tanking this year, I guess, and potentially going to the playoffs. So,
wow. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm going to hold off on both of those, but I'm thinking that I trust Mike M, especially when he makes that kind of an analysis. Utah and the Pelicans, and Williamson team total over. NBA, I fucking suck so bad at NBA. Zion Williamson points over 27.5 minus 121. That's what I'm thinking about. What do you think about that? I guess that's a little bit.
I mean, who's going to guard Zion on the Jazz? Let's just start there. Markkanen? I don't know. I can't think of a person that's going to guard Zion very well.
All right, maybe I'll add those officially at the end of the show, which is going to be in a few minutes. But as of right now, I'll hold off. But Mike M making a great point about Utah. All right, and then Boston and the Lakers.
Let's go Celtics. The Celtics are playing bad for the first time all year now, actually.
And Horford out really hurts them. I want to take Boston first quarter, but God, Horford out just like really hurts them. The Lakers are back home after a long trip, and they're off a nice win against Detroit. They had lost 3 in a row straight up in ATS before that. I really want to take Boston first quarter. Boston's a favorite here. I just don't know NBA well enough to know how brutal Horford being out is.
I'll tell you, Rob Williams. I didn't watch the Celtics game last night. I just saw that they played shitty, but I believe Rob Williams was back last night. And if not back last night, he'll be back tonight, which is a gigantic piece for the Celtics. In particular, when they have to stop a big man like big ass Anthony Davis. Now, really, this game is going to come down to 3 guys, Brown, Tatum, and Smart, because they had a shit game last night shooting. And they've had, like I said, 2 back-to-back shit games. Against the Warriors and against the Clippers. I think they can bounce back and just give the smack on the head to the Lakers. I don't think they lose 3 straight. I think they're a really good basketball team, and I'll be interested to see. Eric Jones likes the under here, and Andrew G also saying it looks a little high for him as well.
Yeah. Looking at the comments, this is all just very, very interesting. Let me see. I'm looking at Sammy Calmer says AD will feast here. Yeah. And let me see other comments. Oliver Page says this game is not going over 235. Yeah, the Sharps, Sammy Calmer says Sharps have steamed this over. The total has gotten bet up, which is a little bit curious. Andrew G says the Lakers spot. Hate to say it. Yeah, man. Wow. Don Pla says Lakers are a first half team, not a second half team at all. Oliver Page, I'm with the Lakers first half, Mike, as well. But in this spot, I think Boston is the play.
See, and I also think, obviously, this is going to be
first quarter only, not first half.
The most obvious thing ever. They haven't had Al Horford. He's one of their better players, best big man, I'd say. And that matters. It's probably a good reason why they lost their last 2 games. Obviously, Tatum and Brown played like shit, especially Tatum. But he's a big piece. So I agree with you guys. I need Robert Williams in the lineup to play the Celtics today, and I have not seen anything yet so far.
Okay, I'm gonna again. I hate it when I have a read on NBA and I don't trust it, and then it cashes. Watch this one cash. I'm going to take Boston first quarter. I'm going to take it on the money line at Pinnacle minus 126. I'm going to take the Celtics first quarter only. I agree. I don't like the matchup. I think that the Lakers will get it together and maybe pull out a win at some point. But I'm going to take Celtics first quarter money line minus 126. Celtics first quarter money line minus 126. I'm going to take it. Boston Celtics to start the game relatively well, despite not having Horford. All right, let's quickly glance at the model and everything. The model likes the Lakers. Yeah, God, the Lakers are probably the full game play here, getting points. The model likes the Lakers, and as far as the money is concerned, we've already talked about how the total has gotten bet up. Extremely teeny line value on Boston as of right now. That could easily change. 80% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on Boston. That's kind of interesting. So a lot of money coming in on Boston. Teeny line value on Boston, according to the site that we look at for that. Take another glance at the comment section. Don Pla says, any college basketball today, Loshak? No, I didn't really look at it too close. I'll give a once over. Hold on one second.
I love how you can just give it a once over and be like, yeah, that's a winner.
Well, yeah, I give up based on numbers, and then I look into it more closely. You know what I mean? I would never bet. Well, sometimes I would just off the numbers. I always, especially in college basketball, but I can give the numbers a once over and give some initial thoughts for sure, just based on a glance at the.
That's that veteran savvy, Pete. That's that veteran.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's the game.
Something. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that. Well, we'll get to it in a second. Yes. Well, I will quickly touch on college basketball, not in depth, but definitely touch on it. NC Greensboro, I'll probably be on as a dog. I can tell you that. Okay, let me see. Jimmy Gomez, as a diehard LA fan and capper, I found no lean favorable for Boston, LA. Lean over, nothing going to get to the winner, though, ultimately. Okay. My sense is the market's implying slight line value with no, I can't even really say that. The site we look at says small line value on Boston. Model I look at says Lakers. And I think that's it.
It's going to be a fun game. I can't wait to watch it.
Oliver Page says first quarter sounds good. Loshak, thank you very much. Thank you, Oliver Page, for your insights and for helping us out with this, man.
I'll be betting first quarter.
Yeah. Andrew G says Celtics played weird last 3 games. And that came from a Celtics reporter who followed the team. How do you cap that? I know if a team is good or bad or awesome or sucks, but weird, that's not necessarily bad, right?
A shout out to Nasty Nate because we know where he's going. He's hitting that trifecta.
All right. And Eric Jones says under, says 116, 111 Boston. All right. So once again, to review, I have a basket of 3 picks. I don't really love any one of them, but I think 2 of these are going to hit. Jose Bouquett. Bucks, money line, minus 166. Phoenix, Houston, first half under, 109.5, minus 104. And Celtics, first quarter money line, minus 126. I'll quickly look at college basketball here. Yeah. I'm almost certainly going to be on UNC Greensboro, getting 2.5 or 3. That's a side I like. UNC Greensboro, getting 2.5 or 3. And other than that, NC State Furman over. I like that one at like 155 or so. So those are 2 picks that I would definitely. I'm going to be on both of those almost certainly. And I missed the overnight lines, but even though they moved a little bit, I'll take them. Those are 2 plays that I would endorse as of right now. NC State Furman over 155 or 156, and NC Greensboro getting 2.5 or 3 against Marshall. Both of those I kind of like. How about that? Jose Bouquett.
Well, Eric Jones.
Oh, no. Eric Jones says hell no. Beat Marshall minus 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. That might be a
hell no, he said. Hell no, Pete.
I'm going to look into it more. So Eric Jones with the hell no comeback with Marshall. Okay, so that means something. Yeah. All right. Let's say the only play I will endorse officially actually is over in Furman, NC State. Let's check the line right now. Yeah. Thank you for your comeback there. Let me see what the line is right now on the.
Please push back.
Yeah. On the NC State game. Where is it? Let me just quickly.
Lucas Ryan asking for your Phil Hellmuth. As I was going through the archives, your Shakespeare is just top tier. You're I don't know why you're not in the theater yet. I mean,
you want me to act for you right now? I mean, look, I'll do it like 2 stories, just 3 seconds of Shakespeare, okay?
Okay.
Now is the winter of our discontent. May glorious summer by this son of York. I mean, come on.
It's beautiful.
Come on.
It's beautiful. And Nasty Nate's going to bring up your skulls that you have laying around all over your house.
People are like, you can't do that. I can do Shakespeare. I can do it all, baby. I can do Brooklyn guys. I can do Shakespeare.
Yeah, we saw the Brooklyn guy earlier.
I can do insecure pussies. I can do everything. I can fucking do it all. I can do sociopathic killers.
It's sick.
I can do them. Oh man. All right. Yeah. So wow. So all right, college basketball. I don't know. Yeah. NC State Furman looks good. I'm seeing a Pinnacle right now though. Just a little bit to the under at 156. So that's not a great sign. I don't know. All right. Yeah. I don't know if I have anything in college basketball today. Mostly in college basketball, I do a lot of halftime stuff. Yeah, but thinking about NC Greensboro plus the points and Furman NC State over and that's it.
When do you start turning up the college basketball? After football?
I've already turned it up. I just do a lot of like first half, second half stuff. You know what I mean? I've already, definitely in general, February is my best month, and sometimes January.
Because I assume your playoff or your schedule is like whenever that regular season ends for that sport, you don't even care about the playoffs. You just move right along into the next regular season sport. Am I correct?
No. Baseball, I don't care about the playoffs, but NBA and NHL, I love the playoffs in NBA and NHL. Absolutely. It depends on the team. NFL is very tough. Robert Franklin says, stick to gambling, Pete. LOL.
Robert, come on.
I know I'm a talented actor. I don't care if people tell me to stick to gambling. I know I got talent. I don't care what anyone says.
Pete, my last question for you before we head out of here. How are our friends at Elmex doing? When's the last time we were there?
Oh, I haven't been there in 2 years. I'm sure they're doing fine. Those guys are doing fine. I don't need to check up on them. They're doing their Orthodox Jew lumberyard thing. They'll be fine.
Pete, one of my goals, I just want to see a picture of you with some Orthodox Jews and so just some piles of logs in the background. That's what I
Okay.
want.
I'll go up there and take a promo pic.
Please.
And they'll be like, what is this guy doing taking pictures and everything?
And we're trying to give you some free publicity. Pub Sports Radio. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. Oh man, what a card, man. Jose Bouquett. It's always fun, but then at the end of the show, I'm just like, man, I just hope these picks overall do okay.
PPI or whatever it is. I forget
Yeah,
that.
AIPP. All right. Shout out to Leonard Porsche Jr., George in Vegas. Shout out to Mike and Billy Friedrich, Andrew G, Jimmy Gomez, everyone who helped out so much with all these lines. And that's it. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you guys then.